All right, let's see another gambit, which is Greco Gambit, a gambit well known from 17th century. It was invented by Greco, famous Italian chess componist. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5. All right, so this position, introduction to gioco piano. As you can see, both sides control this. Let's say white controls d5 square and black with 3 pieces control d4 square. The idea of the gambit is to win a tempo by playing c3. So this move prepares d4, which will have attack on the c5 bishop, and at this point white will be able to have advantage. So white plays c3. Now it's interesting that in this position only one move for black keeps equality. Let's say if black plays d6, very normal move, standard move developing the bishop, white will play d4, and at this point white has attacked this bishop. It made very strong developing move for opening up its own dark square bishop, and it attacks. So black takes, white takes, and black cannot recapture because white have 2 defenses on this pawn. And let's say black plays here and white castles, and white has very comfortable edge at this point because they have the center, they have castled already, knight moves to c3, the position of white is excellent. So black has to play knight to f6. Knight to f6 developing move, it prepares castling for black's king and also attacks e4. This is the problem with c3 is that this pawn on e4 remains vulnerable, and black immediately counterattacks. White plays d4. This is the logical continuation, attacking the center. And again, if black cannot do anything except for taking, yeah, otherwise that the center will crash. Let's say bishop to b6, black cannot take because already this pawn on e5 has only one defense, and white has 2 attacks on this square. So black takes, white takes with the pawn, and black has to play bishop to b4, check. At this point, in this position, white has 3 approximately equal moves: bishop to d2, knight to d2, and knight to c3. The classical continuation is knight to c3, and this move we will observe in this video. So white saved his king with this with his knight, and basically half defended the c4 pawn. Yeah, because if black does castles, for instance, then white can defend its pawn on e4, but now it's pinned and black takes it, so takes the gambit pawn. At this point, the strongest move for white is castling. Yeah, because when you have a fight in the center, your piece is pinned, you don't want to, let's say, look for opportunity to take back the pawn. You want to open up the game and have your king in safety, so white should castle. Now it appears that black's knight is under attack because now it's not pinned. So black cannot immediately play castle. If black plays d5 defending, then knight to d5, and again white has a small edge in this position. So d5 is not the best move. The correct move is bishop takes c3. Now this knight is not longer attacked, and black has won a piece. So it's important that white doesn't take the bishop immediately. They play d5, opening up the game in the center. If black, let's say, plays castles, then white can take this bishop, and as you can see, this knight on c6 is still attacked. And it's important that let's say black cannot take on c3, because if we look at it, then white will play something like queen to c2, and both knights are under attack. So it's not possible. So black has to go back, like knight to e7. But the idea is that the position is open. White has two bishops. White is better developed, and these knights, white can utilize them to win more tempo. So let's say bishop d3 at some point, and with threats like bishop to h7, or if knight moves to f6, then bishop to g5, pinning this knight. So white has lots of ideas. So the best move in this position is to play bishop to f6, but white will play rook to e1, pinning this e4 knight. So here, let's say after knight to e7 takes, and d6, the position is about equal. White want to play bishop to g5, exchange the bishops, and have this attack on the light squares. Again, black sacrifices material, not a lot of material, like just one pawn, but black has to be very careful. They have to know that they need to capture with the bishop, and they have to know this move bishop to f6, otherwise they're in trouble. Alright, thank you for watching. Goodbye.